Now we're going to move into economic geography and development. And so you have one assignment for development, and I'm going to just kind of go over a little bit of what that means. So when we take a look at the economic geography of different regions of the world, we oftentimes talk about countries as being developed or developing, or sometimes more developed countries and less developed countries. And one way to measure development, or one group that does measure development, is the United Nations. And the United Nations has something called the Human Development Index, which ranks countries based on really high human development to low human development. And the way in which they do that is they take a look at how long do people live in these countries, how much schooling do people get in these countries, and then what is the economic how much economic power do these countries have? And so if you take a look at this is from 2019. Countries that are in dark colors are considered very high human development, whereas countries in lighter colors are low human development. And if you remember back to learning a little bit about colonialism, you'll notice that a lot of the countries of Europe and countries that were colonizing other countries accumulated a lot of wealth through that process and exploited countries that of lower wealth and or exploited the colonies. And so we still see the patterns of colonialism today, and we still see those patterns on in our world development. So what you're going to be doing for this assignment, though, is you are going to be taking a look at some different statistics of different countries, and you are going to be talking about their development level. So you are going to start here. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to kind of go back, and if you remember way back to the beginning of this quarter, we talked about population, and you're going to start by just watching the video if the world was only 100 people, and you're going to write down 3 surprising facts in the box. Then you are going to open up this notes on demographic statistics, and this is going to give you a lot of the content, so you're just going to kind of read through it. But indicators, we oftentimes call these statistics indicators. So an indicator is going to tell us about the standard of living, and how well off people are is known as the standard of living that people have. And there are many indicators and statistics that tell us about the standard of living, and oftentimes the categories and indicators include wealth, health, education, food, and industrialization. So read through this. So basically, like poor and middle income countries are going to be considered developing countries. Richer countries are developed countries. Then you're going to read a little bit about some of those indicators. So things like life expectancy. What would you expect to see in a developing country versus a developed country? Birth rate. So even though we learned about birth rates way back at the beginning of this class, birth rates tell us a lot about the development level of a country, as well as the active population and the dependent population, and then some other things as well. So you are going to be taking a look at that. Then you're going to be coming here, and you are going to write down some facts you know, or the facts you learned, facts you already knew, one question that you have. And then you're going to be using this website. It's called Nation Master. So you are going to open this up, and when you open it up, you are going to, here we go, see, so there's a number of ads on this, unfortunately. So you're going to kind of try to close out any ads that you can close out. But anyway, so you are going to see every country listed here. And if I click on a country, so let's say I click on Sweden, I'm going to close out of that. Okay, so I'm going to click on Sweden. Where did it go? Okay, it's going to give me a bunch of facts about Sweden, but more importantly, you are going to probably use these right here to get your indicator. So they tell you what the definition of the indicator is. It explains it a little bit more over here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look up different countries based on these indicators. So you're probably going to come up here. You're going to start with life expectancy. And you are going to find the life expectancy of a number of different countries. So for example, Monaco, which is a really small, tiny country, but also Japan, have really, really high life expectancies. And so you're going to have to look up the country. So the first country you're supposed to look up is Angola. And so I'm going to give you a really quick little easy trick here. You're going to use Control F. Okay, so if you use Control F and you come up here, okay, Control F is find on page, and I do Angola, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to see that Angola has a life expectancy of 38 years. So that's really low, right? So 38, I'm about to be 38. The average people live 38 years. So you're going to come over here. You're going to go down here. You're going to go life expectancy Angola. You're going to write 38. You don't need to put the points in. 38 is just fine. And then I'm going to go back here, right? So I'm going to then now search my second country, Argentina. Oops. And I'm going to see that they have a life expectancy of 76 years. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to write 76. So this is a little bit of a tedious part, but you are going to do that for every country that you see on this list. When you get to literacy rate, right, you're going to come here. You're going to find the literacy rate. So how many people can read? Many countries have 100%, but once again, Control F is going to be, so I'm going to do Angola again. About 67% of people can read. Okay, so you're going to find a bunch of statistics here and use these links. Use these links once again to help you figure out and then use that Control F. Then once you get down here, you are going to decide. You're going to list 5 countries that you categorize as developing. So countries that are poor, middle income, and you're going to describe why you put these as developing countries. So what was it about those indicators that you found that they were developing? And then here, what are the developed countries? And then were some countries that are hardest to categorize? Were there some countries that were kind of all over the place? Maybe they didn't follow a particular pattern. And then the last question here. All right, so that's the lesson for today. Let me know if you have any questions.